Mexican food. It's one of the most popular ethnic cuisines in America. In fact, the Mexican food market is worth $3 billion every year. From tortillas to sauces to beans and specialty foods, Mexican food items are now commonplace in U.S. homes. And one of the best-selling and most popular food items is salsa.
The common ingredients that make up a good salsa are fire-roasted tomatoes, peppers, onions, cilantro. Good salsa today is made in small batches, more of an artisan craft. And when you're making these mega batches of product, it just isn't the same.
The original roots of Mexican salsa can be traced back to the Aztec and Mayan Indians, who utilized a variety of tools to create their complex sauces.
The mortar and pestle, commonly known in Spanish as the molcajete, and the comal, which is basically a one-sided grill that fit over the fire. Those were really the two main pieces of equipment that were used back in the old ancient Aztec days. The end result, a very fresh-tasting, wonderful product.
Food experts say these old-fashioned Mexican cooking methods of flame roasting vegetables to bring out a more grilled flavor are still being used today. In Houston, Texas, Riba Foods is imitating the process with modern methods, creating what is known as fire-roasted salsa. The complex process is what makes the salsa taste homemade and enables it to stand up against other competing products.
Riba's process is different from others in that Riba has always focused on a particular taste, and that taste is a taste that comes from South Mexico. It's a taste that comes from Aztec Indians culture. The flame roasting process makes it different in that the roasting, toasting, grinding, and frying process brings out more flavor in each one of those elements. Consequently, you can use it as an ingredient to cook with, where most salsas in the U.S. standard today, you can use it as a dipping salsa.
What inspired the creation of Riba Foods was my father's desire to bring authentic Mexican salsas to the U.S. He had come to the U.S. over 30 years ago, and all the salsas he encountered were not typical of Mexico City, where he was born and raised, which is the center of the Aztec nation. And that is where fire roasting was prevalent. They would either flame roast all the vegetables or just the tomatoes, but they would flame roast some vegetables in every recipe, and it would give you a homemade flavor that was really unmatched by any salsa in a jar on the market when he was in the U.S.
From main dish sauces to quality dips, the fire-roasted salsa is receiving rave reviews from top chefs across the country.
But some of the dishes that we've used this salsa on are like our version of a carne casada. Just really bumps the meat up and very little extra seasoning you have to do. We like to use it as a backdrop to the enchilada sauce, so it gives it a little bit more depth than the usual performance that we usually use it for. And we really use it in a lot of like chili con quesos, taco meat, anywhere that we would usually be using fresh chopped tomatoes or fresh chopped onions. The ability to use something that's fire roasted, that's bold, it saves me labor, it saves me time, but gives me a great finished product.
Consumers should know that Riba Foods and the products we make are all made from fresh vegetables. We flame roast these vegetables, we either pan roast, flame roast them over an open grill, or fry the ingredients to create the closest to homemade, home-style salsa that one can make and possibly put in a jar.
Specialists in the food industry believe as the American consumer's palate becomes more influenced and refined by Mexican cuisine, their appreciation for salsa will continue to grow.
I think the tremendous influence of the restaurants, people are craving that authentic taste, and authentic fire-roasted salsa has its roots in the Aztec population from the interior of Mexico dating back thousands of years. And that's what people want, is that authentic taste, that full flavor taste that can be used in a variety of different ways. On fish, on grilled meats, it can be so versatile. It's one of the few foods that you can use for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Salsa. It's one of the best-selling and most popular food items in North America. In fact, it's moved tomato ketchup out of its top-selling spot. Based in Houston, Texas, Riba Foods has pioneered fire-roasted Mexican salsas and dips based on centuries of authentic traditional cooking methods from Mayan and Aztec cultures. The process includes open flame roasting, pan roasting, and frying of fresh ingredients to create the highest quality food products that beat the competition.
Riba Foods makes superior products in the marketplace because we flame roast our vegetables over open fires. It is very authentic to Mexico. Its history and its roots in the Aztec and Mayan cultures. And we took those processes and applied them to a mass-produced salsa that we've made available to the consumer. We use handcrafted techniques that allow for the best homemade flavor in a jar that you can have.
Well, my opinion on that roasted salsa is that it really just embodies great flavor. It's very bold, it's got a great profile, great look. I mean, in my opinion, it's something that's chef-driven. It looks like you've actually made it there yourself. You've actually fire roasted the product on a comal or a grill and actually blended it yourself.
If you love salsa and you want an authentic homemade taste, you won't be disappointed with Riba fire-roasted Mexican salsas and dips. To order Riba fire-roasted Mexican salsas and dips, or for more information about Riba Foods, visit ribafoods.com.